Hello everyone, welcome to Fun to Tester. Today we are going to discuss important topics for the Selenium or API automation, or we can say for testers. In this, I have segregated topic based on the interview perspective or how we are using on day-to-day activities. And end of the video, I am going to share a few bonus tips. Before moving forward, if you are new to the Fun to Tester, please consider subscribing Fun to Tester. I will be appreciated it. So without any ado, let's get started. Before starting, what can be done? So here, before starting, we need to install the Java. So we need to go to the installation step. You can install Java setup environment and install the IDE. Later on, you need to understand the basic architecture of the JRE, JDK and JVM. And then you have to define the goal. So if you don't know how you are going to start, in description section you can find one more video to path to learn the Java step by step. So after moving forward, next step is initial stage. You need to start with the basics. So in the basics, first is data types. In data types, you need to understand thoroughly primitive data types and non-primitive data types. After the data types, you can start with the variable and loops. So variable is the easy part, but loops, I would say, you need to start at least with the for and while loop. Do while loop and other loops are not at all required as per the initial stage, but for loop and while loop you need to understand thoroughly, because in each and every program or in future we are going to use this loop multiple times. In almost 80% cases we are using for loop and while loop. Later on you can start the decision making statements like if else, a switch statement. So this statement you need to understand, and after that you can correlate all the concepts. For example, you understood the for loops, while loops, and you know the if loops. So you need to merge together. So you need to write a for loop. Inside you need to put if and else, and you need to start writing and start familiar with the codes. So later on, next stage is after completing the basics, you can start with the oops. So in oops, first concept is class and object. So this is very critical concept. I would say 10 years experience guys also stuck in the class and object. So take it seriously, spend much time and learn class and object and fundamentals of the oops. Later on, you can start with the static and non-static. So whatever you are going to create a class or method, you can have a static or non-static. You need to blend things. Later on, you need to understand how you are going to write a method. For example, you have inside the class you have written one method. So this method type is a void type or return type. Is it a static method, or you are going to override the method? So there are many concepts along with the methods. You need to correlate all these concepts and try to do as much as practice you can. Later on, you can go with the access modifier. So access modifier is a very important topic, because in real time, which method we need to create as a public, which method we are going to create as a private, or we can club together all the concepts. For example, you are going to create a method, so that method is going to be a public, static, void, or private, return, or how it would be. So you need to understand and you need to practice as much as possible. So next is there is a return and void. So that is already I have discussed. Now move to the next part, which is the packages. So you need to understand how packages work in the Java. Later on, we can move to the further concept. So basically you need to understand inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. So for the day-to-day activity and real-time work, I would say you need to focus on inheritance and polymorphism, because these two concepts we are using widely. Method overriding, method overloading and inheritance. Later on, abstraction. So abstraction as a tester we are using in rare case. And encapsulation, yes, we do use. We are going to achieve the serialization, deserialization. In this concept, we are going to use the encapsulation. So yes, this we are using. But interleave perspective, abstraction and interface. These two are very, very important topics. In most of the interview, you will find it what is the difference between the abstract and interface. In learning perspective or day-to-day activity, you need to focus on the inheritance and polymorphism. So next, later on in the OOPS only, we need to understand constructor, how constructor works. After constructor, we need to understand the keywords. So in Java, we have different keywords like super keyword, this keyword, when we are going to use finally. So this concept we need to understand. Later on, we can move to the exception and how we are going to handle the exception. What is the hierarchy of the exception? This we need to understand. And last is a wrapper class. So this is the least used concept, but still we can learn. Sometimes interviewer may ask what is a wrapper class. Now we are going to move a very important topic, which is a string and array. So in string and array, you need to understand four concepts. First is a create, read, update, and delete. So these four concepts you need to this is called a CORD operation. So for example, let me tell you the straightforward example. For example, you are going to click a selfie like this. So while taking a selfie, you are given a different pose. So that is called a create. After that, you are going to apply Chinese complex filter, which is called a edit or updating your images after you are putting a hashtag as a random picture. So that is called edit and update. And after that, if your bastard friend will comment you are looking like a monkey, then you are going to delete. That is called a delete. So the same operation you can do with the string and arrays. For example, I have a string str is equal to funny characters. So for example, this is I am going to initialize. I am going to create a string. Later on, for example, I want to update or I want to delete or I want to use few words. Then edit, update and delete comes into picture. So same way you can perform the operation in the arrays as well or whatever in real-time application. Everything will work based on the CORD operation. Later on we can move to the collection. Collection is a very, very important topic and we are going to use in the real-time day-to-day activity. Even this is the important for the interview perspective as well. So in collection there are different collections. So first we have a list, then we have map, then we have set. So these three topics we are using day-to-day activities. In real-time framework, if you are working on APIs or Selenium or APM. So in most of the cases we are going to use three collections. Using these three collections, we can do almost each and every activities or we can solve our problem. But apart from this, we need to understand this all. Queue, DQ, hash table, stack and vector. So likely in interview perspective, they will ask what is a queue and DQ or can you write a code for the DQ or they will ask what is the difference between hash table and hash map. So for that perspective, you need to learn these collections as well. But remember, list, map and set, these three are very, very important collections. Later on, you need to understand with the playing with files. So what does it mean? For example, we are working on a huge project. So in that, definitely we are going to keep our data somewhere. So in likely most of the cases, we are storing the data into a Excel or JSON file. So you need to understand how we are going to deal with the JSON file and how we are going to deal with the Excel file. So again, you need to understand how you are going to create, read, update and delete. These four things. And in few cases, real time we are getting the data from the database or some other resources. But these two are in 70 or 80% cases, testers do use these two. Later on, most important thing is you need to understand debug code. So how you are going to debug a code? For example, you have written the for loop and you don't know, somehow it is giving you a wrong result. So how you are going to define? So simple step is you can write a multiple print statement and you will go through. You can go through and you can understand the output or you can understand the errors, what errors you are getting. But if you can debug the code, you can able to understand how it will work internally. For example, you have 5 iterations, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So each iteration, what is the value of the defined variables, how it is working, how internally it works, how it is overriding. So you will understand fundamentally, and it will clear your fundamental and it will boost your confidence. Later on, The last step is bonus and tips part. So I'll give you few bonus and tips. So first one is you need to define the mindset, how you are going to sit, how you are going to start, how you are going to understand the fundamentals. So you need to develop a mindset. Later on you need to code daily. So each and every day, for example, you have half an hour time, then write a code. If you have 1 hour or 2 hours, but practice daily. It will make habit. Later on, you can read a book. So for the Java, I have this book, which is Head First Java. This is a very good book. And another book I have is Crack a Coding Interview. So this is a very important book. If you are applying for the interview, then this book is awesome. I suggest you to purchase and read. You will find a URL in the description. So next is a pen and paper. So you need to practice your code in pen and paper. So initially you started with the IDE. Why I suggested to start with the IDE? Because if you are starting with the notepad or pen or paper, then you will find it difficult. But if you are feeling comfortable in the IDE, you are able to write a code, you are able to compile, and you are able to execute, then I think you are in safe. Then you should try at least writing a pen and paper, because in interview they may give you pen and paper. By that time you should able to understand the syntax, and without taking help of the IDE, you should able to write syntax. Next is a relate the concept. So for example, whatever you are doing, you learn the OOPS concept. Later on, we have different things. We need to correlate. We need to club all together. For example, we have inheritance, method overriding, method overloading, static, non-static, and return. So this all 6 concepts, how we can correlate. So for example, we have class A, class B. In class A, we have created method 1, 2, 3, and class 2 we are going to create method 1, 3, 4, 5. So few methods can be overridden, few methods can be override. We are going to use the inheritance, then few methods will be a static. So if we have static method, then can we override or not? So this kind of concept, or fundamentally this question can be asked in the interview, and real time also you will face this problem. For example, you have static method and you are trying to override, or you are going to if you stuck in the constructor chaining, so how you will come out in the real time scenario? So without practice or without relating the concept, you cannot understand this stuff. And last is try to understand the document. For example, you know the Java. Later on, you are going to learn something or something new library. So maybe there can be a chance you cannot find new resources or new library documents or questions in Stack Overflow. So you need to understand documents. If you spend 15 minutes and you are trying to solve your problem, that is fair enough. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much. I think this should help you. If you have any doubt, feel free, write in comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Before moving, please subscribe and do this. Thank you so much.